I am neither a white nationalist nor alt-right. You probably should have made that tweet, Lauren Southern. The one, the one where you say you're a proud member of the alt-right. Here, let's see if it's... Oh, no, you deleted it. You deleted all your tweets. I hate when that happens, because sometimes the internet forgets. Oh, but it didn't forget this time. So, if y'all didn't know, Lauren Southern has made a bit of a pivot as of recently. She disappeared from the internet for about 9 months. She said it was because she was having a child, and then she suddenly returned. She came back because she had a new announcement, and that she had changed. She was no longer going to be kind of a right-wing, I forgot how she labeled herself, but kind of a right-wing contrarian, and instead, she's now ready to become a centrist, balanced and centered as all great things should be, just much like the universe. Of course, she hasn't changed at all. She's still an alt-right, Nazi light, I want to say. She basically became everything she hated. She became an immigrant. And once she became an immigrant, she then had no choice but to begin the process of self-emulation. And so we now find herself in this phase where she's trying to retroactively change her past.
Police officers battling post-traumatic stress disorder. PTSD is one of the biggest issues plaguing law enforcement.
And now she's got a new movie coming out, and the new movie is about caps. It's about Black Lives Matter, but not from the perspective you might think, not from the form of the oppressor and the oppressed, but the oppressor. It's going to be the POV of the cops and all the hard times they're having and all that. And she wants more money, of course. She really wants more money. So she's talking about getting all that sweet monies. Oh, this is a new video. I haven't even seen this.
I just wanted to have a really quick chat about children, education, and parenting. I just came out with a book, actually, called Henry the Sheepdog and the Wolf of Mossville. It is a children's book on how the media spin things, lie about people.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's not what kids want to read about. It's like green eggs and ham. Yeah, there's some life lessons that are coded in there, and they're important, but deep down this is going to be a fun adventure and teach you about loving yourself and others. And then and we also have Lauren Southern's book. It's about how the media is a spin machine, and that black people are subhuman monsters, and that immigrants should be shot with flare guns. That's what this one's about. What do you think, little Dimmy?
There's so much news going around that the headline says something completely different. The article says something completely different to what has actually occurred, whether it be the very fine people myth with Donald Trump or articles I've read about myself where I can't even recognize the person they are writing about. Now.
Awesome. Okay, so this is going to be very relevant then, because the big story that I'm going to reveal today is that she's been trying to retroactively change her Wikipedia. Yes, she not only tried to do it multiple times from different accounts and IPs, of course getting banned in the process, because you can't do that. That's not how Wikipedia works. So she started doing open discussions where she was like, hey y'all, Lauren Southern here. Just want to say, this isn't accurate. I wasn't actually an alt-writer. Oh, sorry, this wasn't accurate. I don't actually believe in the mastery of the white race. Oh no, this wasn't accurate. I don't actually believe in great replacement theory. These are what my enemies say about me. I'm actually a lot more normal now. Don't worry. I'm not very extreme.
I kind of thought this would be a bipartisan take. It doesn't matter if it's not saying right-wing media, it's not saying left-wing media. It's just giving kids the tools to know. Don't believe every headline you read. Think about it a little more, question it, search for the evidence. But no, of course not. I had an incredible reaction from some folks who decided to say this was indoctrination, that they can't believe I am dragging children into politics and trying to make them distrust the media, and this is absolutely horrible. And one person...
Oh, I said I would not do anything too intense today on Twitter because I'm trying to keep it nice and clean for this whole event coming up, but I really want to quote tweet her now and then say that exact sentence and just type out that exact sentence she just said.
Even said that any parent who buys my book and reads it to their child should be investigated by the state and have their kids taken away from them.
See, I want to quote tweet and just say that. I just wanted to read, any parent who buys this book and reads it to their child should be investigated by the state and have their children taken away from them.
Child protective
that's a low-hanging fruit.
Not radical communist response to a children's book whatsoever. Seriously though, I want to talk about this for a second, because firstly, telling kids not to believe everything they read is quite literally the opposite of indoctrination. But there is this idea going around that parents should just stand back and not have any input in their children's thoughts, ideologies, and the way that they see the world. Otherwise, you're indoctrinating your kids and forcing your view on them. This is absurd. There are people all over the world, in media, government, schooling, everywhere, that want to sell your kids some sort of idea, that want to bring your child into their cult, into their ideology.
Oh, wow. So, by the way, again, as much as she wants to, she tries to hide all the masks. She's got a pile of them, like just lying all around the room. It's a room full of masks. She's like trips over masks and cans of copium all the time, and that's basically her life now. But anyways, when she's cleaning the masks and wiping the dust off them and all the other fluids that they might be covered in, you'll see that she still can't help herself. Like, she's still gonna post like all this kind of like coded messaging as if like somehow people are indoctrinating children to become part of this new trans ideology. Oh no, the scary trans ideology. If you teach it to your children, soon they'll be indoctrinated. They'll have no idea what to do. Not that people are just born that way. That there's no indoctrination. They're just born that way, and as society becomes a little bit more accepting, they're less afraid of coming out and explaining why they need to be valid. Because of people like you, because of horrible people like you who make them afraid all the time, because you make videos like this and you write children's books to make kids afraid. So now you're gonna get the kids too. And
they are going to try to get your kid in every way possible. And if you as a parent stand back and don't parent and don't teach your kid critical thinking skills or different perspectives on the world, well, someone else is going to teach your kid for you. If you don't raise your child, someone else will do it for you. And it'll probably be the state, it'll probably be the education system, it'll probably be celebrities. The idea that if a kid isn't influenced by their...
So is that pretty much QAnon? was that a subtle nod to Q?
Parents, they're somehow just going to go on and critically find their way in the world is absurd.
And you know the alternative here is her. Because she's like, don't let the media, the state, and the celebrities teach your kids. Let me. Why don't you buy my book?
Children are influenced by everything around them. I just got a call from my parents the other day who said they had basically an emergency church meeting.
I'm calling an emergency meeting. Church time.
This just means nothing to me anymore. It's been so overused that I just have no respect for that term.
To understand the alt-right, I think you do have to understand our experience. I've lived in this multicultural mess my entire life.
It really puts you on the map if you're willing to espouse views that the world finds shocking. I could not see a single European face assimilate or go home.
I want to be a household name.
What's your gender?
Good question. I don't know. Mischief making.
Whites are becoming a minority in the United States quickly.
All of us Europeans, we have the responsibility to reproduce. Having a family shouldn't be about personal pleasure or personal well-being. Like, that's not nationalist. That's not collectivist.
Fascinating.
We're seeing our messages almost everywhere now. They've gone sort of mainstream.
Those views don't seem so fringe anymore because they're one click away on YouTube.
Hate crimes are on the rise in the US and Europe.
I'm sorry, America, we're not sending our best.
Do you think that your rhetoric contributed to that climate?
Hail Trump! Hail our people!
In Charlottesville, Virginia, a white nationalist rally descended into deadly violence and chaos.
A dead girl ratchets things up.
Do you feel like you have blood on your hands?
Absolutely not.
Someone died, and that was under the name of your movement.
You get so high on the likes and follows that you just keep going, and it's like a drug.
People like bad guys more than the good guys.
Things that I should have been horrified by had just become normal to me. Some help.
Well, Look at the Nazis hitting on each other and dancing. This is from the director of that documentary, by the way. Apparently had some very strong things to say about Northern and Southern. McInnes watched stonily as Southern joined the men. Are you ever going to have kids, give birth? Are you going to be a mother? He asked her. Then I'll give them my seat. The men laughed, and Southern, submitting to the last-minute administration of the makeup artist, laughed along. Just one of the guys, with long, strict, straight blonde hair and an off-the-shoulder floral print dress. McInnes wasn't quite finished yet. If you're not making humans, then fucking stand up, bitch. Southern, who was joining them to talk about a documentary, Farmlands, which focuses on the alleged persecution of white farmers in South Africa, gasped in faux horror. Southern's reporting for Farmlands had rippled through the right-wing media. Trump would would order Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to close the study on the issue, and McInnes now finished his commentary on gender roles, had Southern discussing his revisionist history. In the 19th century, the Zulu people took the land that is now South Africa from another ethnic group, she said, and therefore, blacks are just as responsible for apartheid as whites. We shouldn't be talking about this at all, she said, laughing uncomfortably. Then her face tightened. See, the thing is, my moral compass tells me you have to have a wife and kids. It's not in my realm of consideration. You know, you want to fuck me? I'm your childhood hero. Oh, wow. Gavin McInnes is creepy even when he's with people he considers allies. He's just always creepy. That's too bad. That's too bad. When I first got to know her, Southern was amongst YouTube's most effective and sophisticated extremists, an alt-right propagandist who masqueraded as a run-of-the-mill influencer. In one June 2017 post entitled Ad-Friendly Makeup Tutorial, she walks viewers through her skincare routine as electropop plays over cherry-colored graphics. You want to use a beauty blender and cover up your face's imperfections? Alright, you're looking gorge. She applies the finishing touch, red lipstick, and her hand drifts from her mouth on her right cheek. F-U-C-K, she slowly writes. I-S-L-M What? She used a makeup tutorial to say fuck Islam? That's really fucked up. You've got this cute ad-friendly makeup look. It's super flirty. Oh my fucking god, this girl is on fire. She gushes. Southern, I came to learn, who is an adept troll in person, is another YouTube video with nearly 3 million views. There's no rape culture in the West. Go to Africa if you want to see real rape culture. Yeah, she's not even Nazi light. She's just like straight up Nazi. Okay, so all this notwithstanding, I would also like to say that she's having a little bit of trouble these days. It's not as easy as before. It's hard out here for Lauren Southern. Turns out that she's been trying to edit her own Wikipedia page, and this makes me so happy. This makes me so happy. This all happened in one day. It was a huge rage quit, and obviously she got locked out of her own articles. So for the part that's called "Everyone I Don't Like is Hitler," she's been described as an alt-right white nationalist. She says, excuse me, this should read, she's been described by her critics as, to be honest. Wikipedia hasn't been honest in a decade or so now. They're just a copy and paste of media hacks who play their role in perpetuating witch hunt tags against anyone the establishment dislikes and labeling them all Nazis or white supremacists. But there's hoping one editor with a spine and a moral compass appreciates that she doesn't identify, ran as a libertarian, holds libertarian views, and it's only her critics who say this and write it correctly in an unbiased and POV way. Shut down. Someone else says, by the way, you said this. No, look, dude, this rant sort of seems like you and all the other counter each other. I tried to assume that we were in good faith, but I can't win this whole Wikipedia hasn't been honest in a decade or so now. They're just copy and paste media hacks. This whole blatant white supremacy is not actually white supremacist lies. So she got locked out of that. For the male or female, she was upset that she was called out for her transphobia. I don't understand this. She officially changed her gender and sex status to male. Shouldn't he be classified as a man? Semi-protected edit. The alt-right white nationalist section. Hello, Lauren Southern here to correct this article myself. I think I best know what my politics are, not websites or news sources which dislike me immensely. She's been described as an alt-right white nationalist. I am neither a white nationalist nor alt-right. You probably should have made that tweet, Lauren Southern. The one, you know, the one where you say you're a proud member of the alt-right. Here, let's see if it's. Oh no, you deleted it. You deleted all your tweets. Ugh. I hate when that happens, because sometimes the internet forgets. Oh, but it didn't forget this time. Alt-right means I don't have to be ashamed of my heritage. Lauren Southern. Critics of Joe Biden, including mainstream sources, have called him a sexual predator, yet I would never find this in his introductory paragraph on Wikipedia, because these are allegations from critics. If Wikipedia and the editors here ever want to show modicum or even handliness of how they should edit a page, remove white nationalist and alt-right from the opening paragraph, and if included anywhere, show that I've denied both allegations and that these are from critics. I have linked this to my talk page on my Twitter to ensure that this is in fact my account. Proceeding from an unsigned comment added by Lauren Cherry Southern. She logged in as a different account and then was banned for trying to edit her own articles. Hi! In the Great Replacement Conspiracy Theory section, which, by the way, she was locked out of this one as well. That one is also closed. Hi, Lauren Southern here again. My last account, Lauren Cherry Southern, was blocked for impersonating myself. Teehee, ooh. I've confirmed this is me on my Twitter again, at Lauren Southern, as Wikipedia sent me messages suggesting I make another account. I'd like to address one of the opening statements on the page, which says, Southern is known for her promotion of the Great Replacement Conspiracy Theory, a YouTube video of the same name she released on this date. It is ludicrous to suggest that this is what I'm known for. It's one video I made years ago, which doesn't even exist on my YouTube page anymore, which was based off seeing outlets like The Guardian make articles like The Last Days of a White World, in which they suggested white people are becoming a minority. It was actually The Guardian that debunked your entire conspiracy theory. And oh, by the way, you actually made a movie about this, and then after making a movie about this, which you crowdfunded to get funding from multiple people for, you went on tours. Yeah, you did speaking tours around the globe with Stefan Molyneux, you know, the Eggman, the one who believes that IQ and race are interlinked and that different races have lower IQs. It's the whole thing. Anyways, you got paid lots of money to travel around the world and talk about this stuff. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's what you're known for. You're pretty much known for bringing the Great Replacement Theory into the mainstream, and it still hasn't died, by the way. You got your sycophants, like none other than the Quartering, doing the same thing. The Quartering, hold on, more evidence. So the Quartering, there are still widely unchecked murders of rightful landowners in South Africa. The media refuses to acknowledge it. He did this yesterday, by the way. Pass it on. And then I responded with, this was debunked in 2018, has been going down ever since, you racist hack. And of course, yes, this article is 2 years old, but murders of farmers in South Africa is at a 20-year low. A 20-year low. Yeah, it's on the decline. It has been for some time now. So saying that this is accelerating or this is becoming an increasing problem, that there's a white genocide going on, is racist. You're doing a racism because you're trying to galvanize people and get them scared to do bad things. That's a bad thing, Lauren. So yeah, it's going to be permanently part of your article. To get back to the point, I am known for my documentary Farmlands on South Africa, which got 2.5 million views. I'm known for my documentary Borderless, which got over 1 million views as well. Significantly more attention than this Great Replacement video. Why are the two documentaries not included in the introduction despite receiving significantly more attention? The reason they're not included in the Great Replacement is because the editors deliberately want to portray me as badly. To put this in the opening paragraph and not perhaps controversies is absurd. It would be akin to opening Kamala Harris's page by saying she is known for imprisoning black men for minor drug charges. So the first thing I might agree with. That would actually be pretty fun. While I agree that you're not necessarily known for your promotion of the Great Replacement Theory, your association with the theory is significant enough that you've been mentioned by name on its Wikipedia page ever since March 16, 2019. In fact, your support of the theory is discussed in one of the page's sources, 12 days after the article's creation. Given the speed at which your name appears on the article for the Great Replacement, I think it's entirely fair that you should be mentioned here. Locked. Out. Gone. Oh, she opens a new one for the alt-right white nationalist too, Electric Boogaloo. Hi, Lauren Southern here again. Here to correct this article myself. My last account was removed for self-impersonation, so I'm posting this again. I don't know how this keeps happening. I think I'd best know what my politics are, not websites or news sources, which dislike me immensely. She's been described as alt-right. I'm neither a white nationalist nor alt-right. And then goes off again about talking about, criticism of Joe Biden. It's not fair. Oh, Loza, given a standard block until they can prove who they are. Yeah, you were blocked for doing that as well. Centrist enlightenment. In June of 2020, Southern released a video announcing her return to public life after becoming a new mum. In her video, she said she withdrew from the public eye temporarily upon finding out about her pregnancy. She later elaborated that her hiatus was in fact part of a continual effort that she was inaugurated by 2018 to work on her heart and empathy, something she felt she had lost through self-preservation mechanisms in politics, and she explicitly stated in her interview with Michaela Peterson. While doing so, she said she realigned her beliefs, pulling away from her previous hardline stances. She later released a satirical video in August titled "Hello, my fellow enlightened centrists," clarifying that she had realigned her views to a center-right position for purposes of her upcoming project and was in no way a moderate. LMFAO. Hilarious that she thinks anyone believes her Phoenix talk. Also closed. Identified as alt-right on Twitter post. Also closed. I love how she got locked out of everything. Beautiful. Well done. Well done, Lauren Southern. Oh, and I'll just end with a trailer for her new video if you haven't seen.
There is a time for peace. There is a time for peace, and a time for war. Which time
Which time are we? Are we? Are we? In 2020, America is talking. Black lives matter. Blue lives matter. Cops are back. Law and order. Police violence. Mob violence. I can't breathe. Color revolution.
Trump administration will disappear in 2020.
The rubber bullets flying. The anarchist fires roaring. The weeping.
People did this for no reason.
Grieving parents. Business owners. Bystanders.
As we shout, you speak.
But we do not listen. Can we? Should we? The tongue is a fire, a world of unrighteousness, setting on fire the entire core.
It's such like a mix of pretentious and shitty, like simultaneously. It's so bad and it's also so pretentious at the same time.
Erase the images, ignore the demands of propaganda. Listen to the shop owner, the gangbanger,
the cop, the activist, the expert, the journalist.
Or don't listen.
Wait, Mike Cernovich was the journalist in your collection? Wow.
But if you won't listen to their...
And I gotta ask, did the gangbanger self-identify as that? Was it like, hi, my name's Jim and I'm a gangbanger? And she's like, okay, well that seems appropriate for me to now call you that in reference to you as a person.
Who will listen to yours?
So, cool. Thanks for sending her tons of money, whoever did it. Everyone who just gave her a bunch of money to make whatever the fuck that is.
What lies around the corner? Never knowing who's going to kill you. Are you the next one to be murked? You never know if it's a friend or a foe. If you want to see the biggest names in BreadTube and Left Twitch and Butterthing and I don't know the fucking names anymore, come see Left Among Us.
If you want us to advertise your channel or work, please go to weareserfs.com and email us a 20 to 30 second ad and we'll take it on to the end of one of our videos to help promote your leftist channel or progressive something. Whatever you do.
To our God, I'm Rast, Xander Corvus, and Schlatsky, we shall commit blood sacrifices in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, our lives are yours to command. To our lords, Jeffrey Lamb, Trevor R., Stephen, Hans Josephine, Poppy Nelson, Ryan Lubin, Jimothy K. Meeblebeeps Jr., we bow meekly for your pleasure. To our knights of the round table, Josh Mickelson, Dylan Bythe, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Political Puppy, Jimmy Bignuts, Andreas Chitoro, Good Poon Hates Cops, That's Solid Poon Then, Dr. Zayas, Yoppie, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Jack Darko, Thomas Barretton, J. Fraser Cartwright, Goofalankius, Melissa Murphy, Nicholas Marks, Alexander Thaler, Ali Rada Jaffer, Alex Gauvin, Radical Maniac, we salute you.